If you run a professional service business doing 7 figures or more, you're probably already paying for leads. Google Ads, paid lead providers, outbound, SEO, maybe a marketing agency on retainer. And if you're being honest, a lot of these leads reach your sales team cold. They don't know who you are, they don't trust you, and you're one of just 50 plus businesses they see through ads every day while scrolling social media. So your team spends the first half of every call building credibility from zero, and the close rate reflects it. Now, what if I told you the fix was simple? Because the next growth lever isn't spending more to buy cold or attention. It's turning your own expertise into content that makes prospects trust you before they ever have a conversation with you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact funnel that does that. Instagram content to a warm opt-in, to a qualified conversation, to a call that starts from trust instead of a cold pitch. I'll use my own funnel as a working example, step by step, so you can see the actual mechanism, not just the theory. Now let's first start by naming the real problem, because most founders diagnose this wrong. When close rates drop or the sales team gets frustrated, the instinct is to blame lead volume, not enough at the top of the funnel. So the answer becomes more spend, more providers, more ad budget. But if you look at what's actually happening on those calls, the problem isn't volume, it's mainly trust. A prospect who found you through a paid ad has no relationship with you. They filled out a form because the offer was in front of them at the right moment. That's it. When they show up to the call, your salesperson is starting from zero, competing on price, fighting to establish credibility in the first 10 minutes. Here's the question you had to think about. What would your close rate look like if every prospect already trusted you before the sales call started? That's not a hypothetical question. Really think about it. That's exactly what founder-led content is designed to help you with. It moves the trust building out of the sales call and into the content so that by the time someone books a call, they've already decided you're the expert. The call isn't a pitch anymore. It's a confirmation. That's the difference in this approach. You're not buying colder attention. You're creating warmer demand. The top of this funnel is Instagram, and I want to be specific about why. Instagram is where the conversion behavior happens for professional service businesses. It's where people watch, DM, and opt in. So that's where the trust building starts. But not just any content. The content has to do with one specific job. Prove your expertise to the exact person you want as a client. And this is where I need to draw a line that most people don't talk about. The people you're trying to reach are your ideal client profile, your ICP. And that means your company-specific customer, not business owners in general, your actual buyer. If you run an accounting practice serving small business owners who are anxious about a surprise tax bill, your content speaks directly to that anxiety. If you run a real estate group working with first-time luxury buyers relocating from out of state, your content speaks to what keeps that specific buyer up at night, not generic real estate talk. This is the difference between content that builds a following and content that builds a pipeline. Most founders optimize for the wrong one and don't find out until months later. Authority content works because in professional services, the person selling and the person delivering the work are the same. Your expertise is the product. When you consistently demonstrate that expertise to the right person, you're not marketing. You're doing the most efficient version of selling there is, at scale, without adding hours to your week. By the way, if you want to see where your own content is leaking leverage right now, I built a free diagnostic for exactly this. You answer a few quick questions and get a personalized breakdown of where your content is losing your trust and how to layer organic content on top of what you're already paying for to lower your cost per lead. It's called the Content Leak Diagnostic. Links in the description, takes about 2 minutes. Now, trust alone doesn't book calls. You need a bridge from having someone watch your content to having a conversation with them. That bridge is a lead magnet, or an offer that gives the viewer a reason to move on from passive to active. In my funnel, that's the diagnostic I just mentioned. Someone watches enough content to trust the thinking, then they take the next small step to opt in. Many businesses optimize for views and some even buy views, but it never results in cash for the business. This is because there was no ICP targeting and even worse, no funnel behind to turn views into leads. That's the lesson I want you to take from this more than any tactic. Followers without a system is just vanity. A funnel is what converts. The number at the top means nothing until there's a mechanism underneath it that turns attention into a warm, qualified conversation. So stage 2 is that mechanism. The content earns the trust and the offer gives the trust somewhere to go. Now, when someone opts in, they don't go straight to a booked call. They go through qualification first. In my funnel, that happens in the DMs. A short human conversation that does one job. Separate real buyers from people who are curious but not a fit. This matters because the whole point of the system is to protect your sales team's time. If you send every opt-in straight to the calendar, you've just recreated the exact problem you started with. No-shows, price shoppers, weak intent, except now it's coming through a different door. Qualification is the filter. By the time someone reaches the call, you already know they match your ICP, they have the problem you solve, and they're serious enough to have a real conversation first. This same discipline is what we used at the Fortune 500 level, just applied at a different scale. Align the content to the business objective, and don't let attention reach a sales conversation until it's earned the right to be there. Now the call. Because the prospect has already consumed your content and already been qualified, the conversation starts in a completely different place. They're not asking who you are or why they should trust you. They've answered those questions already on their own time through your content. So the call is warmer, shorter, and closes at a higher rate. Your salesperson isn't building credibility from zero. They're mapping a solution to a buyer who already believes you're the right expert. Think about what that does to the economics of your sales team. Same number of calls, but higher intent, fewer no-shows, less time wasted on people who are never going to buy. That's the entire funnel. Instagram content that builds trust, an offer that converts trust into a warm lead, qualification that filters for real buyers, and a call that starts from trust instead of a cold pitch. The result is a higher close rate and a sales team spending the time on people who are actually ready. And I'll be honest about the natural question here, because it's the one every founder asks. How do you keep this running every single week without it eating all of your time? That's what the AI content department is built for, and I break down that entire system in a dedicated video on my channel. But the funnel is the foundation. Get the mechanism right first, then make it repeatable. So here's the core takeaway. You don't have a lead volume problem. You have a trust problem, and the fix isn't more ad spend. It's a funnel that turns your expertise into warm, pre-sold conversations before your sales team ever picks up the phone. If you want to see where your own content is leaking the leverage right now, start with the free content leak diagnostic. You answer a few quick questions and you get a personalized breakdown of where your content is losing trust and how to layer organic content on top of what you're already paying for to lower your cost per lead. It's built specifically for professional service businesses doing 7 figures and up. It takes about 2 minutes and the link's in the description. If this was useful, subscribe. I'm posting new breakdowns like this every week.